Yo, yo, what's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back, welcoming you to Answering the Bell, our Sunday morning call in for this Sunday, January 15th, 2023. I want to say Happy New Year from this base because I have not done this show this year thus far. We had a couple of cancellations, and even today, some sort of a glitch where my internet went out 15 minutes before I was supposed to air. So I was able to reboot and get everything back up and running. But it's like 2023 and the Sunday morning call in have been clashing. But welcome all the same, everyone that's out there. I hope everyone's doing well this Sunday morning. And we are here to talk a little bit about the sport that we profess to love, that don't love us, boxing. And we're coming off of a night of fights that were broadcast on ESPN where the heavyweights were on display in a main event which saw F.A. Ajaba turn back a challenge from Stephen Big Shot Shaw. A fight that was a technical fight, but at the same time, anytime the big men get together, you always have to tune in because you just don't know what'll happen. What was evident in that is the undercard feature that showed Johnny Rice taking on Guido Vianelli. And that fight ended off of one punch. And it wasn't a one-punch KO, but it was a one-punch TKO. How about that, huh? And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that plus some other things. Maybe once we get the calls going, people may bring something different to the table to discuss. And that's what it's all about, the Sunday morning call in, you know. I know that my brother KQKC Boxing Network has been under the weather. I want to send prayers and shout out to he. I hadn't been able to give him a call yet. I got a lot of stuff going on my end, but he is in my thoughts because I know that if the brother was able to call the fights last night, he would have done so. So I also ask all of you to keep our brother, the singing OG, in your prayers. Okay, for a recovery and back to the airwaves. But yeah, boxing is something that always gives us drama when we don't want, where we don't want. And last night it showed its ugly head once again, huh? Now, I had images that I wanted to upload that I wasn't able to upload because my internet went out. So we'll do that and have that kind of conversation today without me providing the images that I really wanted to do. Because, hey, man, sometimes when you have something visual to go along with what you're discussing, it can just add to the dimensions of the presentation. And I understand that sometimes that's just not going to be the case. So as we get ready this morning, just bear in mind, I wish I could have, but I wasn't able to. You know what I mean? And hey, man, boxing is something else. I mean, it truly is. It truly is. And we got to hold some people accountable, huh? Let me go into the chat here real quick and see who's in the building. I see we've got familiar faces and names and some strangers also. You know, check ID badges at the door. Wrenches, check ID. Make sure, you know, we ain't got none of that funny stuff going on, huh? Where people come in there false flagging, as they used to say back in my day. Chi-Town's finest in the building, saying peace and love and good health to you and your family, Stormy. Appreciate you. Ratchet since 91 is out there saying, yo, Stephen Elder Mack is back saying, buenos dias. Laugh out loud. What up, though? Oh, Stephen L., you know, took to that other language now, huh? Antonio MMA is out there saying salute, sensei. Oos. Big homie Coop. Peace and blessings, Sifu. Backsmack the like button, people. Class is in session, so pay attention. And salute to all the family in the chat. You dig? Yes, sir. Brian Colbert is out there saying, Stormybman, peace, brother. Right back at you. Who else we got here? King Vonnie, 86 in the building saying, peace, Stormybman in chat. Same to you as well, brother. MP WTF is out there. What's good with you? Yahweh, no smoke, is out there. He says, quick salute, family. And Geo James Khalil is out there saying, salute, sensei. Salute to you. Anthony Ingram back saying salute. And Dwayne Jones, bless up from the ATL. He says, I am bothered. That bothers with skills, refuse to do what is required to win. Many people are not as hungry as they claim, have become civilized. Hey, Dwayne Jones, blessings to you for that comment. And though I can't highlight, I will pin that comment up at the top of the chat, because that can be a definite strong point for today's show as far as discussion, okay? And we'll come back to that. 512 Boxing, a.k.a. Big Texas, in the building. What's good with you? I'm trying to get through my chat here. And everybody is speaking to everybody. Oh, that's cool, Stephen L. I was just, you know, Stormy likes to, take a little stab here and there every once in a while, huh? But let me tell you this. It don't matter where you speak it there, wherever you go it there, huh? They gonna treat you like a nigga there. You dig? Yeah. TZ Frank is in the building. Ain't seen you in a minute, man. What's up with you? Happy New Year to you, TZ Frank. Good to see you stopping back by Stormy's channel, man, and participating in the Sunday morning call-in show. I definitely appreciate your presence, bruh. Rod Neal is out there in that super chat. He says, salute. Salute to you, Rod Neal, and thank you for your donation, brother. I appreciate that as well. So, yeah, man, Stormy B-Man likes to, talk about certain things. But that message that I just pent up there from the brother Dwayne Jones, man, I could not have said it any easier, because we're seeing that a lot, aren't we? We are seeing that a lot. And you just have to say, man, let me put my image up here so y'all can see my handsome face. Got a fresh cut, huh? Not that there's a lot to cut, you dig? And, trim it up and everything, because Stormy B-Man like to look civilized, huh? Not like those civilized fighters, though, that Dwayne Jones was talking about, huh? But civilian. Yeah, and I'm also sporting my Deontay Wilder tee. You see that right there with D's logo on there? Yeah, get you one today. He got a website. You can go on over there and get you, because you ain't having mine, huh? You got to get your own, huh? Yeah. Now, check this out. Going into this fight with Ejaba and Shaw was originally supposed to face Vianelli, I believe. And 3 weeks into the fight, Ejaba's original opponent fell out. And they asked Shaw if he wouldn't mind taking on this opportunity. He heartily agreed to do so. He felt that this was a chance for him. Now, Vianelli is a different type of sort, and that would have made probably for a different type of a fight, because Vianelli, and with all his gifts and talents, is so green that he's one of those guys that will take unnecessary risks as well as the typical risk, and would have probably made Shaw fight him off, and it would have been interesting to see what would have happened between the two. But FA, being better prepared going into this fight, started, continued, and finished the fight behind the most basic of agendas: working your jab. Now, we know that he has a big right hand. He has a very big right hand. But in this fight, his jab carried him through. He wasn't able to land the right hand like he wanted to, but it did get in a couple of times. It allowed him to control his conditioning and kind of dictate range and ring generalship. Shaw, who has very fast hands, especially for a heavyweight who has come down from a much higher weight, competing at almost 240 pounds now, he trimmed off a lot. But I wonder where the desire to grow is with Shaw now, because in a position for opportunity, which don't come a lot in the sport of boxing, at no point did he display to us or a jobber in the ring that he was there to make something happen and make people take note of him. And it's unfortunate because at the age of 30 and not having had a fight that could introduce him, this was that chance last night, and he didn't go for it. He participated, and his performance was lackluster, but at no point during that fight did he show us that he wanted people to take note of him. He didn't show F.A. a jobber, whom he said he felt was taking him light. He never showed him why he shouldn't take him light if F.A. was taking him light. So, as Dwayne Jones said in his comment, many people are not as hungry as they claim. They've become civilized. Yes, because the opportunity to make a few dollars, to be on TV, seems to be enough for some of these lads. And I call them lads because I'm old enough to be dad. You understand? That's not said with disrespect. I know I might not necessarily look it, but yeah, I'm up there, closer to 60 than you may believe. Huh? But when are you going to get the memo? When are you going to step it up? When are you going to crack that egg open and say, hey, this is me, world? Huh? Cassius Clay won the heavyweight title from Charles Sonny Liston back in 1964. Was 22 years old. No, 22 years old he was. There's not a fighter in the heavyweight division today that could dream of being heavyweight champion that's 22 years old. Dwayne Jones also says it was like a gentleman's agreement was made somewhere not to go all out and try to win it. What happened to fighting like the man was trying to take food out of his baby's mouth? Absolutely. Again, profound. Words such as this describe what you witnessed. Stephen L. says, Sensei, you're a good 51. Man, you better add a few more numbers behind that, bro. Huh? When I was 51, I wasn't feeling like I'm feeling right now. Huh? And I'll take that 51 feeling over what I feel right now. Yeah. Huh? Thrill Hill, what's good with you? I see you out there. Learn is back. Yeah. Who else we got? Hustler's Home. I don't know how you can turn that around for these guys. The only thing that could change things is if there's another shakeup in the division like what happened many years ago in the mid to late 80s when the heavyweights were fat, sloppy, out of shape, apathetic, drug abusers. And I don't mean PEDs. I mean they were taking cocaine and heroin and different drugs like that, the hard stuff. And then Mike Tyson came on the scene, and you saw what he was doing to people, because the highlight reels of his early 30 fights of knocking folks from pillar to post shook the division up. And some of the guys near and about the top, they were like, you know what? This young guy is going to come in here and knock some heads off. I better get my act together. I better get in shape. I better do X, Y, Z. If Mike didn't do anything for the heavyweight division, he did do that. He put people on notice to be in shape for somebody that would mow you down like a freight train. He did that. And people responded. Some of them guys got the hell out of boxing. Some of them began to fight better than they had earlier in their careers, in their youth and everything, because they realized that they were going to get embarrassed. Yeah. So that's one of the things that he was able to do for the sport. You know? Jelly Bean 4280, I see you out there. Just Do Boxing, my man is out there saying Stormy. Salute, Sensei, OG, respect to the chat. Good to see you out there, Just Do. Thanks for stopping in, bro. CB Sports TV in the building. What's good with you, CB? Yeah. Learn says it's the training. I think after fight, I heard Shaw dad saying something like, you are improving. Let me know if I heard wrong. I didn't hear any of that because I was trying to get myself ready for the post-fight. See, I can't catch everything, you know what I mean? And then when I run into glitches like this morning, it delays things even further, so I'm behind. I didn't get a chance to see or hear any of that discussion. I know that I talked last night on the post-fight show about ESPN shooting themselves in the butt over that situation regarding Benji Estevez, which we will talk about that as well. Yeah. Estevez. We'll get there. Renee Box Young, what's good with you, bro? Hey, Renee, I got your message, and I was in the middle of changing my devices, so I got you on there and everything. So, and that's a good way for you to hit me up. So I'm just letting you know, if you didn't hear back from me yet on there, that doesn't mean I didn't get your message. I got your message and I can communicate with you there. Absolutely. So Shaw comes in. I noticed he was dancing in the dressing room. He was smiling and stuff like that. And I tell you, it's funny, man. I don't like to jump the gun. I don't. But I've watched so much that certain things make me feel a certain kind of way. When I notice his demeanor for the presser this week, the weigh-in, walking into the arena that night, the dressing room, and his ring walk, two different dispositions come to mind. Either a guy is unconfident and he puts on this demeanor as he is, or he is approaching it like it's no big deal or whatever, and the performance usually belies that. Okay? That's what I saw in Shaw, but it's like I was trying to give the brother a chance. We learn in life that the quiet ones, those that don't talk too much, those who don't boast and brag and everything, and don't mess with others, you shouldn't mess with them. Because if you do, sometimes it turns out that they'll rip you a new one. Huh? And folks be saying, I never knew he was like that. I never felt he was that violent. I never knew he would kill. Yeah. You better leave them quiet types alone. But he just came across to me like a guy, no urgency, no sense of direct focus like this is my night. But just like, yeah, we going through it, you know, dancing and stuff. You know what, bro? In this sport, you could dance your ass right on into the graveyard, because you can get killed in there. You guys better focus TF up. Shaw, Anderson, and some of you others out there. You better. Because there's always a guy waiting in the wings to upset the best laid plans. Some just like being a spoiler. We saw that in the preliminary with Johnny Rice. Rice relishes being a spoiler. He really does. I don't think he aspires to be the heavyweight champion of the world. But he aspires to receive an opportunity and go in there and upset somebody that they brought him in to be an opponent against. And he did not fight like a sparring partner against Vianelli. He used experience catching him coming in. When he did unleash his right hand, the shit was precise, on target, huh? And then when he landed his best one, it ended the fight. That's a dangerous man, Johnny Rice. Because on any given night of fighting him, against him, you don't know what you're going to get. Now, for those who are saying things about F.A. Ajaba's performance, let me say this about F.A. Ajaba. He won in the best way it was for him to win. He did not put himself in too much danger. There were opportunities that Shaw didn't take. But the way that F.A. boxed, there was no reason for him to change anything because he was winning. I had him 7 rounds to 3. It could have been 6-4, but no closer than that. But being able to pump the jab, pump the jab, pump the jab, you got to do something to make me stop pumping that jab. And guess what? Shaw didn't have the answers. He didn't. Regardless of what his potential is, regardless of the style that he has, regardless of, I spoke about his hand speed, and also I thought he would take risks, but he didn't. And that's the difference in the fight. Now, I said I wasn't going to go in on him, and I'm not. But you get no more praise from me. You'll have my support, but no praise. None. Because I can't praise non and lackluster effort when an opportunity of a lifetime presents itself and you do absolutely nothing to try and attain something out of it. There are plenty hungry mouths out there dying to be fed. And you know what? You're going to have to get behind all of them, because you look like a guy that was full. Yeah, that cat that's full, house cat. You know, his tender victuals bowl is always full, and he always dining on it, and he laying in the middle of the floor, and a mouse go running across the room, and he just look at him like this. Because he got catnip and tender victuals. He ain't got time to chase that damn mouse. He live in the lap of luxury. Now tell me, Shaw didn't show you all that he was kind of content, even dancing on to the ring and everything, having rappers walk you in, all of that bullshit. I talk about it all the time. How you look and the song you play and all that don't have shit to do with once the bell rings and fists are supposed to start flying. Mike Tyson had one of the best ring walks of any modern fighter. He came in there sometimes no towel at all or a ripped towel over his shoulders, frothing in sweat already before the first bell. And when the bell rang, he jumped on top of the other guy like a pit bull that was very vicious, being given attack orders. Wasn't worried about no rappers walking him to the ring and all of that. And later in his career, they would play some kind of music for him, but he still came in with the same mindset. He wasn't walking down the aisle singing with the guys and with arms around his shoulder and, you know, what the hell is that? I'm telling you, I can't celebrate the foolishness, man. I will not celebrate the foolishness. And you guys could get mad. I'm talking to the fighters now. You could get mad You can make diss videos on me or whatever you want to. I don't care about that stuff. I don't even care. I'm not trying to draw you in to make something be exchanged. I'm just saying that the sooner you learn that all of that foolishness don't matter, maybe the sooner you can have better efforts in the ring. Change your damn thinking. People do pay for tickets, bro. Now you give me one reason to believe why someone should want to see Shaw in his next fight. Why? Because we supported him this go round, but he didn't put the effort up. So does that mean that the next time he gets in there, he ain't gonna put another effort up? Well, I keep my damn money in my pocket. Listen, Prince Charles Martin, in his fight, gave an effort, man. Though he lost. But he took risk, he took an opportunity, he went in there and tried to get it done. What's wrong with these guys? PGH Big Dog, what's good with you? I see you out there. Jay Grant Jr. Rojai, you know, a thing about Rice, it's not even about him being in great shape. It's about him being psychologically prepared. Because he's one of those fighters, he can fight you wherever he's at, what shape he's in or whatever, but you got to make sure his mind is right. And there was something about that fight last night, and I know that they said that these guys had sparred together about 30 rounds, Vianello and Rice. So he was familiar with Vianello. That's why he didn't really like go for broke against him. But when he tagged him, it was over. It was over. And did you see the power behind Rice? He hit the dude and knocked the guy 10 feet across the ring. Rojai, that's an interesting fight there. I don't think Anderson is ready for something like that. I really don't. I'm going to go ahead and open up the call lines and see if we can get some people that wouldn't mind calling in and discussing the topics. But let me just get on Benji Estevez for a moment. Man, Estevez, dude, Estevez, I talked about it last night on the post-fight show. He gave me an impression that all support was behind Vianello. All support was behind Vianello. So whatever they could do in favor of him, that was going to be done. Which is why he did not acknowledge the cut in the 6th round. And notice that when he stopped the action in the 7th, he initially said, we're going to go to the scorecards. But why are we going to the scorecards, Benji? Oh, there's a cut. Well, what happened, Benji? Did the cut come from a headbutt? Or did it come from a punch? Now, if it came from a headbutt, you did not acknowledge it, right? If it came from a punch, you did not acknowledge it. You just said, we're going to go to the scorecards. But you also had stated that in this particular state, the replay option wasn't available. So you already knew that the cut was by a punch, so you didn't acknowledge the punch, but you also didn't acknowledge the headbutt. So if you could pass it off as I thought it was a head clash of heads, but you didn't stop the action. You didn't state that it's a clash of heads, so I'm stopping the action because we got an accidental headbutt. You didn't do any of those things, Benji. And while you was over there shrugging your shoulders like, yeah, huh? ESPN was running replays. So the national viewing audience, along with the national viewing fools on their panel, were stating that it was obvious that the man got hit with a punch and it cut him really bad. So, when they brought Benji down those stairs and told him you could look at this monitor here and see exactly where the cut occurred, right here, and they ran it back for him. His New Year's bag had been taken away. Yeah. Huh? So everybody keep your eyes on Benji going forward, huh? He on the take, man. The little gremlin, huh? He on the take. But in the words of Puffy, take that, huh? They take back, huh? Yeah, Benji. You got two big ass heavyweights in there thumping. And you know you didn't see no damn headbutt. Salute to my brother Drew Titan out there in the building. Flawless Mentality, Dr. Mark, Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. All of you guys come into the building. I appreciate you. Cerebral Shadow Boxer, what's good with you? I hate these little elves trying to impact themselves on the boxing match. And they can't even, they no longer even really follow the rules. They make shit up as they go. And I've seen Benji Estevez since he was about 25 pounds lighter, refereeing fights. He's always been an elf, huh? Always. But this is one of his worst performances as a referee. See, they don't have Mora in there anymore. So he was probably elevated. Well, now that he's been elevated, he done went over the cliff, huh? Because he showed his true self last night. He thought the no instant replay rule was going to assist him because he was going to try to act like these two men clashed heads. Corrupt. Jay Gibson, what's happening? We're not having it, man. We're not having it. These guys coming around acting like they know who's boss, huh? Imposing themselves on these fighters. Horrible officiating. Horrible. Horrible officiating. That's like he wouldn't talk to Vianello enough about the rabbit punches behind the head. More than getting hit upside your temple or your chin. Hitting somebody in the back of the head near the brain stem, the base of the neck. That's where a lot of the damage can happen to a fighter. Your central nervous system goes from your brainstem down your spine. And guys hitting in the back of the head like that, I'm just going to say it plainly. My fighter, you got a guy hitting you in the back of the head like that, you hit him in his nuts. Hard as you can. The hardest blow you throw in the fight. Hit him right up under the cup. Like in uppercut fashion. We're going to turn this into a low down throw down. Because all fighters already know what getting hit in the back of the head on the brainstem means. All fighters know this. And if you don't, you come from a gym and trainers and handlers who are morons. And if you're a heavyweight hitting somebody like that, just think about it. Jeff Ferrari Caesar, what's happening with you, bro? Jay Gibson. Phone lines are open. Anybody want to call in? Phone line is open. That's what it's all about, though, people. That's what it's all about. Man. All you got to do is pay attention to what's happening in the ring. Pay attention. Don't let these people fool you with what they're doing. Yo. Pay attention to what's happening. Pay attention. Vianelli fights with his hands up, but he wants to hit you with a right hand so bad. All Johnny had to do was wait and get his timing down. That's seemingly, to me, that's what he was doing. He was waiting to get his timing down, and once he was able to do that, the fight was pretty much decided. Yeah. There are rumblings out there about Ryan Garcia may not fight Tank Davis now. I just tell you guys, to hell with Ryan Garcia, right? This young man has played games for the past 2.5 years, man. Similar to the stuff that Anthony Joshua was pulling. Just leave him alone. Let him be a social media star. Let him just do whatever he's doing. But when he want to mention Tank Davis or he want to mention any other fighters that have some type of prominence in the sport, don't give that man any play. Don't give him any discussion. Just let him be. Because that seems to be exactly what these young men are doing today. They're building themselves off of not fighting in the ring, but what they can say and what can draw attention, what could get so many views, and so forth and so on. It has absolutely nothing to do with competing in the ring. Jeff Ferrari Caesar, you may be right. And that may be one of the reasons why they only want to call upon him on short notice, because if you give him opportunity to have full camps, then there's a high probability that he could beat your guy. And let's not forget this fact. he was favored on 3 weeks' notice. Johnny Rice was favored last night on 3 weeks' notice. Think about it like that, man. It's like you in the bed, right? Silk pajamas and all. And they call you and say, hey, man, you want to take this fight in a couple of weeks? You throw the cover back and slip on your bunny rabbit house shoes, and you say, yeah, I'm down. And you go out there and whoop the dude's ass. How do you take a fight on 3 week notice as the opponent and go into the fight favored? Man, Guido, let's just call him Guido, he should be mad, huh? He should be like, why y'all have me fight that motherfucker? Man, I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up with boxing, man. You can't. Man, they should just call Rice the upsetter. And that's a double entendre, because not only does he go out there and pull off the upsets against fighters, but he lead the damn promoters and everybody upset too. That's why he don't get regular fights. He don't get regular fights because he leave everybody upset. Okay, we got 225 in the building. Who's calling? What's on your mind?
Hey, this Patrick. How you doing, Stormy? What's on my mind is just the little fight card that happened last night. I just wanted to talk about just the fight card a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
So I wanted to talk about a guy, but first I want to talk about the Rick and that Italian heavyweight. You saw that fight, Stormy?
Which fight now?
The between Rick and that Italian heavyweight. I know the one that got stopped by the cut.
Yeah, that was Johnny Rice. Johnny Rice and Guido. Let's just call him Guido because that's his first name, the Italian.
Yeah, Guido, to me, in my opinion, Guido was winning that fight, if you ask me, because he might not have been landing the most cleanest, hardest punches, but he was the busier fighter. He was busier with his jab a lot more than Rice. He was using his punches and using his movement more, and Rice was trying to counter a lot. He landed hard shots, but he didn't land as much as Guido.
Well, yeah. What was people didn't realize, and they did speak on this during the fight, they were very familiar with each other. They worked together in the gym a lot. So they sparred over 30 rounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they were familiar. That means Rice knew who he was in there with, which is why he wasn't going all out or anything, because he probably was figuring over a 10-round fight, if I start fighting more toward the later portion of the rounds, I could be more effective. And that's exactly what happened, because he tagged him in the 6th round with that punch that opened the cut, and that pretty much changed everything around. But what was really interesting was the damn referee didn't want to freaking acknowledge it. He didn't want to acknowledge it because Guido was probably winning the rounds.
Right.
but the cut got so bad in the 7th that they were going to have to stop the action or whatever. And when they did send him over there to look at the doctor, dude, that cut was horrendous. It looked like he had been cut on the eyelid under his eyebrow with a box cutter. That's how it looked. But it came from a single punch from Rice. A single punch in the 6th round.
Yeah. That cut was nasty. Danny was located in a bad spot. He, a lot of people like, well, you could have fought on and stuff like that, but if he would open that thing up, you don't want nobody opening that thing up any more than what it was already.
It was opened up so bad that you could actually stick your finger in it. You know what I mean? You could actually stick your finger in there. And it reminded me a lot of the bad cut that Vitaly Klitschko had against Lennox Lewis when they had to stop that fight. That cut was horrendous. And Vitaly wanted to fight on, but the cut was too damn bad. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. And so, I ain't gonna lie, but like you said, the ref, it did get kind of funky in there, because I'm like, okay, are they stopping the fight? Are they going to the scorecards? What they normally do, Stormy? I thought they, like, after a certain amount of rounds, they go to the scorecards, but it seemed like because it was from the punch, it's not from a headbutt or nothing, they gave the TKO victory to Rice. That was the right thing to do, right?
Yeah, that was the right thing to do. But what they were trying to do, because in that state they didn't have replay, they didn't have instant replay where if something happens in the fight, you can stop the action and go to the replay. But ESPN had shown the replays, which were blatantly obvious that the cut came from a punch, and they had already talked about it on the air while the ref and the doctors were discussing stuff, and the ref was like, I saw a headbutt. But think about it like this, and I said this early in the show. If the ref saw a headbutt, why didn't he stop the action and address it? He didn't, because that didn't exist. Then the fact that the cut came from a punch, he didn't stop the action and address that. Or when the round ended where the punch occurred to cause the cut, he didn't go over and say, hey, that cut was from a punch, because they were favoring Guido. They were favoring Guido, and Estevez, the referee, was trying to give favor to Guido, but the cut got so bad they ended up having to stop the fight. Now you've got to address, why are we stopping the fight? You're stopping the fight because of the cut. Okay, but where did the cut occur? That's when Estevez lied and said, I saw a headbutt. Get the fuck out of here. You can't have it both ways. If you saw a headbutt, why didn't you stop it and say, accidental headbutt or whatever? He didn't, because that shit did not exist.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's when I said corruption. This is corrupt.
You can't call a headbutt. You can't call a headbutt after the headbutt done, and you didn't let the round go, and
right.
You can't renege now.
Right. He never addressed it. It happened in the 6th round, and they done already come out for the 7th and start fighting again. So he never addressed it. He never addressed it. So it had to be from a punch. You understand? Yeah.
It was from a clean punch. It was from the rear hand of Rice.
Yeah. It was. And that was so funny because, again, I like to say this on my channel. What I like to do is point out the corruption in the sport, bro. It's like you cannot tell me you peeing into the air and it's coming down and people getting wet. Oh, it's raining. No, that's urine. You understand? Let me get the hell out the way. But it's like, this is what they try to do to boxing people.
Yeah.
Now, if ESPN, who's supposed to be, they're supposed to be promoting Vianello, right? The Guido. If they were smart, Mark Kriegel and Andre Ward and Tim Bradley, all of them guys, they should have shut the hell up. But they didn't. They told on themselves. That's why I said on my post-fight show last night, it was like they fell on their own sword because they up there. Well, the replay obviously shows that the guy, it was a punch, and they showing it 3 or 4 times from 2 or 3 different angles and everything. So y'all, you blew it. If you wanted Villanello to win and there's no replay, all you had to do is the replay is not available, but they didn't do that. They just messed it up for everybody. You know what I mean? But you see, they do this stuff so much, bro. It's coming out. It's coming out. The ways that they do things are coming out, and they can't cover all the bases no more. It's like having landmines all over the place, and wherever you step, it can blow up at any moment. You know what I'm saying? Because they done did so much bull crap. Now, all of a sudden, Andre Ward is talking about Johnny Rice is being cheated right here on TV. Motherfucker, we done watch people get cheated on TV every week. Where you at? You know what I'm saying? And here you go talking like this tonight when you should have shut the hell up.
He said Rice got cheated?
Yeah, last night he was saying it. But see, what about Deontay got cheated and other people got cheated? Huh? Brian Fox, Michael Fox got cheated. Where were y'all at then? You know what I'm saying? Well, we see it all the time. These things happening and they don't say nothing and they pretend like, oh, well, and they'll talk about other stuff. But now it's starting to come out. The corruption of all of them, they're all involved. That's why I can't wait until the big shoe drop with this guy over there from the other side of the world him, when the real deal and their involvements with him, when that shit fall down. Let's see who's the last man standing then. Cause this shit go real deep, bro. It go real deep.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like what's the Italian? I can't. It wasn't like the Italian guy was like bad or anything, but he over time he started getting caught a little more frequently.
And why do you think that is? It's because, like I said, they've sparred together over 30 rounds. They're familiar with each other. Johnny Rice knew he'd be able to hit that dude as soon as he get a little winded because he was moving too much. Guido was in there dancing on his toes and move. They say his family, he comes from a family of tennis players. Well, in boxing, it's different when you're getting hit in the body and stuff like that, right? Or upside your head. So your legs start to go after 5 or 6 rounds when you're moving like he was moving. And if you notice, those last couple of rounds, round 6, round 7, Rice was tagging his ass.
You start touching him up more with more frequency.
Yeah, because he was getting winded. He was getting tired. The dude is, he is not as fleet of foot as he was in rounds 1 and 2. You understand?
Right.
What was interesting was that the fight been able to go another 2 rounds because it stopped in the 7th. The TKO was from the 7th. But if it was the 8th or the 9th, the dude might have been on the canvas.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see the fight play out a little more because how winded would he got? Would he got a second win? How winded? Me, I had Guido up. I wasn't scoring the fight, but I'm just looking at it. I was like,
he was up.
He's won more rounds up this far, but
he was, Patrick. He was up. He was. But let me tell you something. This is the thing about boxing. It don't matter how many rounds you winning if you get knocked out or if it's a TKO. It don't matter how many rounds you was winning. That's why when people say stuff about Deontay, well, he was losing these rounds or whatever, but he still won the fight. Tank Davis, he was losing the rounds before he knocked the guy. But what happened? How did the fight end? Huh? The fight ended with him being victorious, didn't it? So shut up. Huh? It's scheduled for 10 or 12 rounds or less. But if you don't make it to the 10th or the 12th round in those scheduled fights, that's your fault. And the other guy wins. You understand? This is boxing, man. This ain't calculus. It ain't. Because in calculus and in mathematics, you could test theories and everything, and whatever it is, it comes out. That's a fact. That's what it is. But in boxing, you can test theories all you want to, and one punch will change every damn thing.
Yep, you're right. Triangle theories do not work in boxing.
Yeah.
Nope. Now to the main event. I feel like the fights played a little similar with like that fight between Rice and Guido and F.A. Ajayiba and Sean. I feel like the fights was a little similar, but Ajayiba didn't move like Guido, but he had like a little more snap in his jab. And I think Sean just was waiting a little too much that whole night. I think Sean waited too much for the right punch the whole night, and he was letting F.A. get off more.
Yeah, I don't know what Shaw's strategy was for the fight, and as I disappointingly said last night on the post-fight show, I don't know if his strategy or game plan was revealed through what was being said in the corner, because ESPN never went to the corners. Every time a round ended, they went to the commercials.
Right.
You know, and I would have loved to hear what kind of instructions he was getting, because then I could assess whether he was giving it a go according to what his cornerman was saying or not. But because I wasn't allowed to hear anything, I don't know what the hell their game plan was, but I could tell you that it wasn't freaking working and they needed to change things up. How do you have a guy with such fast hands? And F.A. was doing a good jab, but the way you offset a good jab is you jab with him or you jab more than him. And you get on the inside and start working and letting your hands go on the inside. Shaw has very fast hands for a heavyweight of his size, and he never did that in the fight. So you cannot sit there and hang your head and say, "Oh well, we tried, but we couldn't get it done." No, you didn't even try, dude. You didn't try. You let F.A. dictate the whole night, and F.A. never had to take any risk himself because the jab was working overtime. It was working overtime, and you had no answers for it. And you all that talk about sparring with Deontay Wilder and all of that stuff, well, you're just a freaking sparring partner now. Huh? And that's what people going to refer to you as, because you gave a sparring partner-like performance in a main event fight last night. Disappointing a lot of people who wanted to support you, who wanted to see you do well and be victorious. And you let a lot of people down, but not more so than letting the people down, you let yourself down, because there was so much opportunity contingent upon a victory here that you don't have a clue of what you're going to miss out on now because you just didn't go for it. And if you didn't go for it because somebody said to you, you're not going to win this fight, meaning somebody got to him and said, I don't care what you think you're going to do, but you ain't going to win this fight, then you have to reassess what you want to do in the sport, because those things do happen as well. When I talk about corruption in the sport of boxing, yes, those things do happen, people. Oh, that pretty lady you got sitting out in the audience, your pretty children sitting over there with her. Hey, do you want to go home to them, or do you want them to come home to you? Well, make sure that you don't win this fight tonight. We don't care if you lay down. We don't care if you go the distance. But you're not being F.A. tonight. We got plans for F.A. You know what? It happens. And people might get mad that I said that, but it's a fact. Those kind of things do happen.
That's a part of boxing history dating back from the old days, and black fighters had to take dives, not, you know what I mean, my guy. I can see that happening too, cause it's not like there was like a big skill difference or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Did you notice in the 8th and 9th round that Shaw's activity went down to almost zero?
Yeah, and then like at the beginning of one of those rounds, though, he came out like he was about to do something. I'm like, okay, now he's doubling up on the jab. But then as the round go on, he just chilled out. No, I'm not gonna throw. No, I'm gonna wait on the jab. I'm just gonna stay defensively responsible enough and just wait and let the rounds pass. And I'm like, dude, you know you can't be winning these rounds, right? Like, you know, I see in the first couple rounds, okay, he's filling out. Then the round pass, I'm like, okay, you waiting too long on this dude. You waiting too long. Okay, you waiting too long on this dude. And my little nephew, he's like 10 now. He was like, I don't know, is this corner telling him? And he said the same thing. He said the same thing, kind of like what you said, Storm. He was like, is this corner telling him this is how he's supposed to fight? And I was like,
listen, man, and salute to you. You say that's your nephew?
my little nephew.
Yeah, salute to him. You know why? Because I'm going to tell you something. Brain activity is important. So if he was able to see that and assess that, then he's a sharp young man. You understand?
Yeah.
He is. But understand, we have adults out here who don't want to take that type of position. We have adults out here and say, well, oh, maybe, you know, the better guy won and all that. If you don't go sit the hell down somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because understand this, when I talked about this, it's only through my conversation with you on the air that I revealed what I revealed about the corruption aspect. Because if you just tell people certain things, people think you're just sitting up there and you're just running off at the mouth. But what I shared with you about Shaw having family out there in the audience and everything, and somebody get to him and tell him, hey, we don't care what you do. You can lay down or you can go the distance, but you ain't winning this fight. That shit happens. If you don't think it happens, I got some real estate to sell you out in the middle of the Pacific. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's not far-fetched at all, especially when you're expecting the guy to come on the gas the last couple rounds. You thinking the guy is going to, okay, well, maybe he's, you know what I mean, maybe you didn't want to trade with him, or you think you're seeing this. My nephew seeing this, like, is this trainer? I was like, Pop, we don't know. And another thing is, now since you brought it up, why did they go on break every single time? Don't they, at least some of the times, you know, let you listen in the corner? Don't ESPN let you listen in the corner at least some of the times between some of the rounds? Like in between every single round, there was a commercial break.
Exactly, and the same stupid commercial at that. So it's like, what are they doing here? Again, I keep saying, you know, when you had boxing on HBO or Showtime, you know, you could get those in between the round comments. When fight was on ESPN years ago, when we had Tuesday night fights, when we had Friday night fights, you know, those kind of broadcasts, we had more complete coverage. Now it is so angled, it's ridiculous. They even went to some kind of a basketball game thing or whatever at one point. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? It's like, man, this is crazy. But again, if you're paying attention like you're supposed to, you'll see exactly what's up. I want to say salute to my brother Drew Titan LLC out there in that super chat. We appreciate you, bro. He says, church. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You have to speak it out there. Tell the truth. Huh? Shame the devils. Tell the truth.
Yeah, that's looking like that don't look far-fetched, Stormy. That Sean was told that somebody came before Sean and for that. Look, man. Hey, we don't care how you don't come out with no dub. Cause our boy here, and cause it's not like he didn't have the punchings and he looked very fresh towards the end. Both of them looked pretty fresh towards the end of the round, but it looked like Ajagba was like, Jabba would look like he kind of put it in cruise control a little bit. Like the end of the ninth and the 10th round, instead of snapping the jab out, he started parring a little bit. He started parring with the jab, like, okay. And Sean didn't try to, like, I just saw no urgency, and then he thought he won the fight. I don't know how the hell he thought he won the fight. I don't know if he just had it made up in his mind that he was going to act like he won the fight.
That was all posturing, bro. That was posturing. That was every bit the posturing that he was giving us in the dressing room, dancing and everything, and on his ring walk out there smiling and, you know, swaying to the music that was walking him in and all of that foolishness. I'm going to tell you something. I've seen a whole lot when it comes down to boxing and fighters and to know when something is awry, when something is not on the up and up. And hindsight being 2020, looking at Shaw, there was some things that were questionable. And it didn't have nothing to do with, you know, thinking, you know, how the fight is going to go one way or the other. Because one thing you can never bank on, just like the Vasily Lomachenko fight against Teofimo Lopez, who would have dreamt that for the first 6 rounds that Vasily Lomachenko would throw no punches and try to win the fight? You could not have convinced me going into that fight that would have been part of his performance. But once I saw that, Patrick and chat and whomever else is out there listening, once I saw that, it opened my mind up to something totally different that I wasn't thinking when it comes down to the sport of boxing. Because a non-performance and a non-effort is something that you will never think of a fighter going into a fight unless you've seen him have a track record of it.
Right.
And then you begin to say, well, that could happen. But guess what? I say that from now on, just because I saw it in the Vasily Lomachenko fight. It's always in my mind about a guy's non-performance. That's why I say things like adjust to the adjustments. When you see a fight going a certain kind of way and a guy does not look to change the outcome, the complacency that he displays, showing that consistent manner of going about business, routine, mundane, that tells me that either that person doesn't have anything else to do or they refuse to do anything else.
Right. And it looked like Sean had the skills, man. It looked like Sean had that's the perfect word, Stormy, complacency. It looked like he grew very complacent because it looked like Sean had the tools. He had the nice straight hand to come over the top of the FA, but he wasn't throwing it. He wasn't throwing it a lot. And credit to FA, a lot of times he would bring his jab right back to his face. But I think sometimes he dropped that. He let that hand down. And Sean's hands was higher than FA's the whole fight.
Yep.
So,
and I'll tell you something. When in the first couple of rounds, when I saw that FA was trying that little jab to his body or whatever, I immediately was thinking, I was like, his corner needs to tell him the next time, just wait for it, because he's going to do it. The next time FA go to shoot that little jab to your body like that, come over the top with a hard right hand, as hard as you can throw it, and hit his ass upside the temple, and let's go home. Because Lennox Lewis did the same thing to Razor Ruddock when they fought. Razor Ruddock, who had a terrible habit of bending over to his left and bending over to his right and sticking his left hand up like he's jabbing up at you, but he would lean over to his right. And toward the end of their first round of their fight, he leaned over like that, and Lennox stole that right hand right over the top. Boom! And dropped Ruddock, and Ruddock went down to the canvas in a heap, and the ref counted. And when Ruddock struggled to make it back to his feet by the count of 8, the bell rang to end the first round. And Lennox pumped his gloves together like, damn, I almost had him. And got him in the second round because he was still dazed from it. And Lennox put him down a couple more times. The fight was over. But you go back and watch that fight with Lennox Lewis and Razor Ruddock. When Ruddock bent over like that, when a guy goes down low and you can come over the top of him like that, like you know, especially if you got the hand speed and power to do so, steal their ass and go home. That's what I thought Stephen Shaw was going to do, but it never. He threw a right hand at F.A. late in the fight when F.A. went down low like that. But it was late in the fight, and he didn't even try to like do it in the sense of what I was talking about. But if he had done that early, he could have got a quick steal, and that would have been it. But this is what I'm talking about. When you watch boxing, it's not even about watching boxing. But there is a limit to what can transpire in there. As long as men have 2 arms and 2 legs, huh? Right. But it's like people think that something is gonna happen from the stars or whatever. It's about the ability of the guys. And if they don't bring a full toolbox in there, they're gonna fight at a deficit. But when you bring a full toolbox and you have a capable corner behind you, man, the potential is off the charts. But I have to say this, if someone else is interfering, which is what the people are not privy to, therein lies the situations that you could see which end up like last night. Because nobody know why Stephen didn't put forth more of an effort. And he didn't seem too disappointed in the defeat, did he? Something wrong.
Nah, he just, all he did was when he lost, he was like, nah, man, I won that. Oh, whatever, let's go home. You know, and I don't see how he thought he won that fight. I don't see how he thought he won that fight. It's looking more along the lines of what you said. Somebody came to him and was like, man, because nobody stepped on the gas. I'm not, even though we didn't hear his corner or anything from in between rounds, it's not like we heard his corner yelling at him from like during the fight, like go, go.
Yep.
You know, yeah. It's not like we heard his corner yelling at him, like, you know what I mean, trying to urge him to let his hands go. And
now let me mess you up even more mentally with this comment. Who the hell think that F.A. is going to become the next heavyweight champion of the world?
I don't know. They might have a title out there he can get from one of the...
No, Patrick. No. Yeah. In all of your sensibilities, and you can check in with your little smart nephew on this one, who the hell think that F.A. is going to be the next heavyweight champion anytime soon? He not. They saving him up as cannon fodder for someone else. Yeah, I said it.
F.A. looked like he came in and did what he had to do. Came in down, used the up and down jab, and Timothy Bradley. I didn't like a lot of Timothy Bradley and Andre Ward's like commentary, because it was like some things I was like, what are you guys? But I did agree with them on Andre Ward on, he said, taking risks. And he was like, somebody got to take some more risks. Nobody, because the crowd kind of got a little restless, and it wasn't like they wasn't punching, you know what I mean? But it was like they wasn't going at it.
Listen, man,
you know?
I don't know. Are you? I know we're talking you on your phone, but can you see your TV screen or whatever, or your phone screen? Can you see the show on your screen?
Oh, yeah, I can open my phone up and see it.
Okay, cause let me know when you open it up and you looking at the screen. You asked about Timothy Bradley and Andre Ward. I'm show you and tell you what's up with them. You got it ready? Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I'm open.
You ready?
Oh, 1 second. You must have a good thumbnail up here.
Yeah, you gonna see it in a second. Just let me know when you're ready.
almost there. I'm almost there.
No, don't worry. Take your time. Take your time, bro. But I do this on purpose, with purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. All right, I got your video up.
Okay, now check this out. Just keep it tuned in for a second. Yeah, that's Tim Bradley and Andre Ward and all them guys. Yeah. You see that?
Yeah, man. They were saying some stuff that didn't make sense to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and that's why, you understand? That's why when you, listen, they could say stuff and everything. One moment, they sound like they speaking with logic. The next moment, they sound like they speaking Martian. Huh? Yeah. So don't trust it. That's why I said last night they messed up with the Rice fight because they told the truth on the air. You were in a town where they don't have replay, but y'all showed the replay, and then Andre Ward said they cheating Johnny Rice, and they were cheating Johnny Rice. Now, most times, they don't get all involved like that, but last night they made a mistake, huh? So you could better believe this morning or whatever, they got a conference call going, talking to Tim and Mark and Andre and telling them all, hey, man, y'all gonna have to chill. You can't be all over the field. You can't have chicken wings falling all out everybody. You got to hold some discipline here. Oh, my fault, master. My fault. Yeah. And say Benji had to give his bag back. Huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna let somebody else come on, Stormy, but it was very good talking to you. I'm gonna check out that fight too, Razor Ruddock, Lennox Lewis.
Please do. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
All right. It was nice talking to you, Stormy. Good show.
Yes, sir. And thanks for calling, man. Don't be a stranger. Peace to you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Now, peace and blessings.
All right. Great call from Brother Patrick, man. Yeah. But y'all know, listen. Now, I see some smiley faces out there. Yeah, I said it, and I put that out there because that's exactly what that is. It's exactly what it is. Huh? It's what they do. It ain't got to be like that, but it's like that, huh? Boxing and Barbecue, I see you out there, bro. Sid UK is out there. Yeah. Shadow 979, what's good with you? Lewis Hinton. Yeah. See, when you put that stuff out there like that, man, it's like it lets you know what's really, really going on, man. It lets you know what's going on. These guys are a trip. They out there talking about somebody being cheated. Y'all watch people get cheated every damn week. What you talking about? Them guys. They be participating in the cheating. Huh? Man, I tell you. We got time for another call if somebody else want to call in. Huh? We got time. We got time. Oh man, salute to Jermaine Bean out there in that super chat. It says that ref should never be in the ring again. There should be a few of them with him lined up to not be in the ring again. Huh? Thank you for your super chat, Jermaine. Jeff Ferrari Caesar says, Stormy, remember Ward said that's an extremely long count at Wilder's fight. Yeah, we remember that. See, Ward know what's going on. That's why when he playing both sides of the fence, huh? You look, man, you either hot or you cold. You can't be lukewarm, huh? Get out of here. Lewis Hinton says, those announcers back in the day used to think something was wrong with me. Sometimes it's like, are we watching the same fight? Yeah, man. The foolishness it runs deep, man. It runs very, very deep. So I guess nobody else wants to call. I'll lock the lines down then if nobody else wants to call in. I was trying to give you guys a chance, but we'll just go on with the rest of the show without the call in. So take the number down off the screen. I don't know why people don't like to call in, man. I love to call in and talk boxing. Say we got 50 people in here and nobody wanted to call in. That's ridiculous. 50 people. All y'all can't be, at the grocery store and, cleaning your toilets and all of that foolishness. Huh? Some of y'all are swimming in the toilet. Yeah, I said it. Let me get ready to pay a couple of bills here. We got my man, Focus Ball Healer, the mind-body coach.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a focus ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a focus ball. When you train with the focus ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit, making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the focus ball now.
Gonna get you some of that Stormybman merchandise. Gonna get you some of them focus balls. Huh? Yeah. Available today. Get it. You know what I'm saying? Stop messing around. You guys be messing around too much. Yeah, G5 Gabe, what's good with you? So that's pretty much going to be it for today, man. It's kind of a jacked up thing, messing with my flow, that my internet was out 15 minutes before air, and it came back on about 20 minutes later. So that's why I got off to a slow start today, for anyone who wants to know, who cares. But thank goodness I was still able to finally get my show in. I want to say thanks to everybody who sent a super chat out this morning, those that participated in the chat, those who, left those comments that, like Dwayne Jones, that I was able to pin up there at the top. Man, you ain't never lied when you said that, bro. It's like these guys, they're not as hungry as they profess. And we're seeing it more and more. But it's a cycle. And we're going through a low energy cycle right now. Hopefully the trajectory of that arc is up and we can get people to focus up and it can get better. But as it stands, it's pretty bad right now. But we're going to get on out of here, let you guys get to the rest of your Sunday, and we'll catch you guys next Sunday for the call-in show and we will be back. Peace to everybody out there. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. We gone.
To this day.